In this video, I'm going to show you why I can grow tomatoes all year round, really easily, doesn't take a big investment, and you'll have delicious tomatoes in the middle of February like I do. What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Baus. I am a Colorado certified gardener and a lover of all things spicy. I also happen to love cherry tomatoes. Very specifically though, my secret little hack, if you've watched this channel you already know, I love Micro Dwarf tomato plants. So these are tomato plants that only grow to about a foot, maybe 18 inches tall, and they put on a ton of little tomatoes. Typically I've only seen really like grape at the biggest size, but mostly cherry sized tomatoes. They come in all kinds of different varieties. I am a huge fan and I've been growing these little plants in my outdoor garden for years. But this year I realized I can do this indoors just as easily all year round. So I picked out like 11 different varieties of Micro Dwarf tomato from my favorite place to get them, forgottenheirlooms.com. I'll leave a link to them below. I ended up just putting seeds directly into 1-gallon nursery pots, like the cheapest little pots that I have. I didn't do any seed starting magic. I just put them in the pots, got the soil moist, and covered it with some plastic wrap. They germinated quickly and they all grew. In these 1-gallon pots, you can see these plants have been thriving and it takes next to no time. This is less than 75 days from when I planted. And it takes very, very little time to get a harvest. That's why I love these. I planted these something like 3 months ago. I'll have to look and put the date in there if I can find it. And they're already bearing fruit. Quite a bit of fruit too, as you can see. All right, so like I said, my setup is simple. I have 1-gallon nursery pots, potting mix with some slow release organic fertilizer mixed in, and 1 plant per pot. This is a Raspberry Ruffles in this particular pot, and we'll do a quick harvest here so we can taste some of these tomatoes. But this thing is loaded up. Like there is maybe 10 ripe tomatoes on it already and probably 20 more that are still growing and ripening. And I'll get multiple rounds of harvest off of this. So it's not like I pick it clean and it's done. Outdoors, I keep these going from about June is my first harvest, all the way through September, sometimes October. Just continuous harvest of tomatoes. You don't need to do a lot of care. I happen to have them in my big grow tent because it was empty for the winter. I could grow these in a really bright window, potentially. I could grow them with just a simple grow light, a singular cheap one, like a 15-watt bulb, right above it. It would grow just fine that way, as long as you get enough light, enough water, and some food. I do feed them about once a week with a quarter strength hydroponic nutrient, just a cheap one that I buy on Amazon. I mix it up in a big 5-gallon bucket and then put 1 part of that to 4 parts water, and away we go. They do great. Again, very little maintenance. I do put a fan in the tent just to help with the heat from the light, but if you don't have it in a big grow tent like that, you probably won't have too much issue with heat. I'm excited to try a couple new varieties. And while I love looking at these tiny little tomato plants, I mean, look how, this is all the bigger it gets. It only needs that little pot and it's super happy. You don't have to do a lot of pruning. Every once in a while you'll get some of those dying, yellowing branches at the bottom. 1, that's probably a sign you need to feed. It's running low on nitrogen. But 2, just break those right off or snip them off if you want to be better to your plants. I tend to just grab them and break them off. You know, so you got to do a little bit of maintenance like that, but Micro Dwarf tomatoes are awesome. They're almost set it and forget it, and you get a nice harvest. So I want to take a quick look here at the tomatoes on this Raspberry Ruffle. Isn't that what I said it was? Yeah, Raspberry Ruffles. So it's a little bit smaller. This one here is from the Tokyo plant. So Tokyo Micro Dwarf. Very similar, other than that, the Tokyo has 1 more leaf on the calyx than does the Raspberry Ruffles. This is a little more firm, this is a little overripe. Either way, I want to take a quick taste. All right, so we'll start with the Raspberry Ruffles here. I do want to take a quick look inside. Hopefully my camera above is actually working because I can't tell, but there's that. Looks nice, very juicy. Nice and fleshy. Looks to have a little bit of a lighter, more translucent flesh. So let's find out. Raspberry Ruffles, how do you taste? Wow. Holy smokes, that's really good. No tartness, no bitterness. Very, very low acidity tasting. Almost a little bit of a citrusy orange type flavor. Really nice. Wow. Okay, Raspberry Ruffles. That's a Micro Dwarf tomato I would absolutely recommend. If you want to grow these, again, it doesn't matter if you haven't ordered seeds yet, go to ForgottenHeirlooms.com. They will have whatever's left in stock. I can't make any promises. They go fast some years. But if Raspberry Ruffles is still available, I'd pick that one up. It'll grow real fast, especially if you put it outside. This Tokyo tomato, that is much seedier, a little bit darker flesh, but still very juicy. This one is a little bit more overripe. They've been ripe on that plant for a solid week plus before I harvested it. So Tokyo Micro Dwarf tomato. Okay. That one doesn't have as much flavor. It is a little bit more watery, but it's still very good. Incredibly juicy. Talk with my mouth full. It's a mild, almost a apple skin flavor. If you've ever had a cherry tomato from the grocery store, think about that, but a little bit better. Much juicier, much fresher tasting. Very refreshing. That was a very moist tomato. So Tokyo, also very good. I also like that these are pretty good size. Like, you could technically slice that up if you really wanted to and toss it on a sandwich or a burger or whatever. So a little bit bigger than your standard cherry tomato. Definitely one of the bigger fruits that I have going this year on this set of Micro Dwarf tomatoes, but those are both really good. That Raspberry Ruffles though, I'm stoked. This is really, really tasty. I think I might just have another one here, and then remind you that if you are interested in growing Micro Dwarf tomatoes or learning more about them, I have a video right here that you might want to watch. And if you want to see me eat a bunch of hot peppers, check out this playlist. If you want to grow your own tomatoes, I'll leave links below. And remember, plants help us grow.